Hello, dear doctors. Welcome back to my channel, The Tooth Saga. I am Dr. Shaina, your friend and confidant in this journey of learning. We try to make learning dentistry a fun and enjoyable experience for you all. Before we begin, don't forget to press the bell icon so you can get to receive notification whenever I upload a new video. Like, comment, share and subscribe. So let's begin. Today we are going to discuss about the classification of oral habits. So without further delay, let's begin. To begin with, let's see what is a habit. A habit can be defined as the tendency towards an act that has become a repeated performance relatively fixed, consistent and easy to perform by an individual. So the keywords are tendency towards an act, repeated performance, fixed, consistent, and easy. So when we keep on repeating a act again and again, it becomes fixed and easy for an individual to perform. So a habit is acquired as a result of repetitions. Initially, if it require conscious effort, later, as the time passes, the act becomes less conscious, and if we keep on repeating it often again and again, then it may enter the realm of unconsciousness. Just like when a child starts writing, forming alphabet is a conscious effort, but with time and repeated practice, over the year writing come natural to us, so no more effort is required. So now let's see what are oral habits. Now moving on to the oral habits. As the name suggests, these habits involve the oral cavity like thumb sucking, lip biting, oral mouth breathing or tongue thrusting. Oral habits in children have some effect on the development of occlusion. Frequently, it is seen that whether these habits can be temporary for some time or permanent, but either if they are temporary or permanent, there are going to be some harmful effect on the dental occlusion and the tooth supporting structure. So, the common oral habits are tongue thrusting, thumb or digit sucking, mouth breathing, nip biting, nail biting, bruxism. The other oral habits are pencil chewing, bobby pin opening when we open bobby pin from our teeth, bottle opening, which is a very common habit we come across, needle biting, improper brushing, and wire chewing that we commonly see in the electricians. Now let's talk about various reasons why child develop oral habits. Family conflicts, school pressure, jealousy, peer group pressure, stress can produce so much anxiety in a child that child start finding comfort in these oral habits. Occlusal interference, breathing obstruction where the child cannot take proper air from the nose, then he or she start breathing from the mouth. Limitation associated with the tooth eruption, poor physical health, these are the few reasons why child develop oral habits. Now moving towards the main topic, that is the classification of the oral habits. William James in 1923 classified the oral habits into useful habits or harmful habits. Let's talk about useful habits. Now, these habits are considered essential for the normal functioning of the body. Some of the examples of these habits are respiration, normal swallowing, and proper positioning of the tongue. So, these habits are very much essential for the normal functioning of a body. Harmful habits. These habits have harmful effects on the teeth and their supporting structure, such as thumb sucking and tongue thrusting. Now, thumb sucking is the placement of the thumb in varying depth into the mouth. And what is tongue thrusting? It is a condition when the tongue make contact with any teeth anterior to the molar during swallowing. Now what happened? During swallowing, the tongue come in contact with only molars, But when tongue make contact any other teeth anterior to the molar while swallowing, then this condition is known as tongue thrusting. Klein in 1971 classified the oral habits into empty and meaningful habits. The criteria for classification was its association of the habit with the psychological conditions like anxiety, depression, etc. Now, talking about the empty habits, or they are also known as unintentional habits. These are the habits which are not associated with any of the psychological problem. Meaningful habits, also known as intentional habits. Now, these are the habits that have psychological bearing associated with it, like anxiety, depression, fear. Morris and Bohanas in 1969 classified the oral habits into pressure, non-pressure, and biting habits. Now let's talk about the pressure habits. These are the habits which apply pressure on the teeth and its supporting structure, like thumb sucking, finger sucking, and tongue thrusting. Now, non-pressure habits. Now, these are the habits which do not apply any direct force on the teeth and its supporting structure, like mouth breathing. Though mouth breathing is a non-pressure habit, but it do have harmful effects on the occlusion of the teeth and its supporting structure. Biting habits. When the child is involved in nail biting, pencil biting, or lip biting. Finn in 1987 classified the oral habits into compulsive and non-compulsive habits. Now, talking about compulsive habits, these are the habits which are so deep rooted in a child and they are so fixed in the child that whenever the child feels that his security is threatened by the event that is occurring around him, then he move back or retreat to these habits again, and the child suffer increased anxiety whenever we make any attempt to correct these habits. Non-compulsive habits. Now these are the habits that a child learn easily and drop easily as the child matures. Kingsley in 1958 divided the oral habits into functional oral habit, example mouth breathing habit, muscular habit, example tongue thrusting, combined habit, example thumb and finger sucking, and postural habit, example chin propping and abnormal pillow following. Classification by Graeber. Now, Graeber has included all the factors under extrinsic factors of general cause of malocclusion. So, he has classified all the habits under extrinsic factors like thumb and digit sucking, tongue thrusting, nip nail biting, mouth breathing, abnormal swallowing, speech defect, postural defect, psychogenic habits like bruxism, and defective occlusal habits. Thank you all for your motivation. Share your feedback for more such videos.